Welcome to Truman Tech Break. Today we're going to be looking at one of Google's apps and their arsenal of apps for education. And the app we're going to be looking at today is called Google Forms. Now Google Forms is one that's been around for a while, but it's one where they've recently added a bunch of new features that I wanted to share with you guys, including inserting videos and photos and several different add-ons that we'll hopefully get to in another Truman Tech Break. Real quick, just to create a form, you'll log into your Google Drive using your Truman credentials, and here you click on New, and we'll go down to More and create a Google form. Now for the purpose of this form, I'm going to make one that will hopefully show you many different uses for Google Forms and ways that you can use it in tasks that you already do to hopefully simplify and make all of your processes a little bit smoother. Right now we already have checked to require Truman State University login to view this form. You can also check to automatically collect the respondent's Truman State University username. Now here we're going to start with a very simple portion of the form, just asking people to fill in their last name. And we don't need any help text. And this one just provides a very short answer. We're going to go ahead and add a required question to this one, so they have to answer it before they submit their form. We'll click Done. This is what they'll see so far, and we'll say to go ahead and add another item. Here, let's go ahead and put in their first name. The nice thing about Google Forms is it will automatically take all the information that somebody enters into it and populate it into a spreadsheet that you can then access later and compare all of the results right next to each other, as well as it will automatically assess a lot of the data, putting it into pie charts and other charts to help you understand who is answering one question more than another, and several other features that we'll discuss as we go along. So in addressing several of the ways that Google Forms can be used, one of the ones that came to mind is many professors will do exit tickets, or most important thing, something that they learned during class that day to get a feel for what their students are taking from the lectures and adjust their lectures as needed to address deficiencies in the classroom. So here we have what was the most important thing that you learned today. For this one, we want to give them more space to answer. So we'll put a paragraph text there, and we don't have to make this one required. We'll click Done. That'll go ahead and set that up for them. Let's say you wanted to do a different type of exit ticket and have a multiple choice question. So here I'm going to add a question title, and I'll have my music major showing me, and we'll say what scale degree is Neapolitan chord built on. I won't give them any help text here, but I'll go ahead and put in some options for them, and I can put in a raised fourth, a flat second, a seventh, and a flat sixth, and click Done. So they'll see it like this and have the option to choose one of those following. Let's say that you run a classroom lab, or you run some service where you have to constantly be keeping track of supplies, but you have student workers that are running the majority of this for you. To help keep track of that, you could put in what supplies need to be ordered. Now say your student grabs the last ream of paper, and you want to make sure you keep track of when it was used, and so you know how often you have to buy new paper, but you can also see when you're all out. We'll put in help text here to say, please select which item is now out of stock. And here, there are lots of different things we can choose. We could choose paper, printer ink, batteries is something else that we could run out of, or dry erase markers, are all things that you'd find in lots of classrooms. You could even do something as simple as turtle food, or we have 3D printers coming to campus soon. We could say white filament for the 3D printer is all gone. And this way, when a student worker is going through and they fill out their name and say, oh, well, we used up the last of this supply, they could click on the drop down and they'd be able to choose their list. I'll show you that once we finish with this. Let's go ahead and add another another form of items, and you'll see several different kinds here. I'm going to hopefully take you through a couple more of them. We've got checkboxes. This is where they can check as many things as they like to. And we could have this be closing duties, where if you're closing up shop or closing up a pool, please check each duty after completion to ensure the pool is properly closed. So here you could take them through their closeout duties, making sure that they turn off the sound system, put in lane ropes, lock doors, close off the deck, lost and found items, and turn off lights. And as many other things as need to be done on a daily basis. But this way the students have something that they can come in and they can check off each thing as they go through, and you could even leave spots for additional comments if they find that something's out of place or something needs to be repaired. This would be a great place to address it and be able to come back and check and find out when it was first noticed. Additionally, you could use this to organize inventory of a space. For instance, if you have a core library or some other type of library where you want to go through all of the data but have someone input the different fields for you, you can make a form that's much easier to deal with. And we could have score title. And here we can have the composer. And again, these would auto-populate then into a spreadsheet so you can access all of them. And here we can have another choose from a list, and we'll have this be the voicing. And we'll have SATB, SSA, and TTBB, and anything else that you need. And from there you can have all of the data that you need to easily organize and approach and figure out what you want to do inside of that list. Another type of item that you can add that can be really useful is a grid. And this can be done prior to a lecture to survey your students to get an idea of what they're used to. For this case, we'll go with technology. What is your confidence level with the following software? And here, row 1, we can have iMovie, GarageBand, and Photoshop. And for our columns, we can say very confident, somewhat confident, or not at all. Now this gives you a great idea of lots of different things that you can do inside of this list. We'll make sure we put a title on this one so it's easy to find. And then once I'm done, I can come in here and I can click on View a Live Form. Now this is what my students will see, so we'll go ahead and fill this out once to show you what will happen. I won't fill out all of these forms, but I'll go ahead and answer the Neapolitan question. I'll put down a flat second. From here we'll submit, and this gives you the chance to go ahead and submit another response if you like. I'm going to close out and show you what you can see from here. If I go into View Responses, I can create a new spreadsheet. Now once I do that, it'll take me into here, and it gives me a timestamp for when it was addressed, and this is a live feed, so as they add it, we'll get more and more, and there's a column for every single one of the questions. The other way you can look at it is by doing a summary of the responses, and in this summary you'll get pie charts and other data that you can use to go from there. Now you could do a fully featured quiz inside of Google Docs, inside of Google Forms, and with that there are add-ons like Flubaroo that will go ahead and automatically grade those quizzes for you, and they'll even highlight when more than 60% of the students get a question wrong, so you can see which areas really need improvement, and they'll address many other things for you, and we'll hopefully get to that in another tech break here. The other thing I wanted to show you is that you can also add in section headers or page breaks if you want a multiple page. Images and videos are allowed now as well, so you could put in a video that you want your students to watch and then answer questions about it. This has been Truman Tech Break about Google Forms. Hopefully you have some ideas of how you could use it inside of your own classrooms. And if you have any questions, please contact Learning Technologies. We'd be happy to give you some more ideas. Have a wonderful day.